Okay, welcome back. And in this module, we're going to be talking about the Files and Folders Visualizer and how these things can snap together to actually put the files on the user's system. Now, this is divided into two panes on top and bottom each. The top half is the what's on your machine, the development machine for the installer, and the folder structure of the user's system. So let's jump out here to C, and maybe let's scroll myself silly here. Set up builder files here. Now, we've got our files and we've got them all nicely arranged. Oddly enough, how they're going to be arranged on the end user's computer, because we ran the compiled installer at the start of this series. So what we're going to do is these two little controls here. This one adds only the folder and none of its constituent files. This one adds the folder and all of its constituent files. So what we're going to do here is under Always Install, under the Application folder, we're going to select license.rtf and readme.rtf. And we're going to add them. And boom, they're in that folder under Always Install. Now, let me zoom in on this because this does get complicated. Under Seasons, we're going to do Add. Under the Application folder, we're going to call this folder Videos. Okay, then we're going to Booyah. And I do not know, do not quote me on this, but I believe we're going to have to add that videos folder. In fact, I forgot the S. Actually, no, I put the S there. I just said it wrong. So we're actually going to need to add that videos folder under every one of the features that is in the seasons section. Let me see if I can copy that maybe. Maybe that'll save me some time if I can duplicate that. Now, this add CSIDL constant special identifier location, if I remember that acronym correctly, allows you to add things to, say, the common files folder, the print hood folder, the fonts folder, the look and see the user's app data folder, the common app data folder, really special locations, the startup folder, etc. No, there is not a way for me to duplicate that. Okay, so that means the way I built this originally is I went in and I duplicated that videos folder for each of those. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. And believe it or not, that folder under Seasons is just a dummy folder. That way we're not getting complaints later. So we're going to add videos. And we're going to keep this up. Now, I could very well be wrong, and if I am, God help us all, basically. Because I'm probably teaching you guys very bad install authoring techniques. But, hey, this is how I snapped this together originally, so this is how I'm going to show you how to do it in the video. And as you can see, I'm getting quite quick at this here, because I've actually had to do multiple takes of this. Okay, and then under soundtracks we do music. Then under iSoundtrack, we're going to do music again. Okay. And do some weirdness here and say music. And then Miranda Cosgrove. Then we'll have to do that for each and every one of the other, for the albums underneath. Now, what we're going to do is, once I get all these folders in place, I'll come back and I'll start dropping these files where they need to go from their lovely homes up here, and they will start to populate this folder tree down here. So, I shall be right back. Okay, I believe we are on. Let's find out. Am I? Yes, I'm on. Okay, so I've gotten my folders in place. Now let's start adding some files. There's nothing we need to do with seasons, and I do not know what gives with that when I collapse one of these, it decides to expand my whole stinking tree out, but hey, that's life. Just verify that everything is good, I swear. Okay, yes, so I'm going to pull this out and we're going to go to where it says videos, season 1. Now I want to toggle add folders and their subfiles. So make sure I'm on season 1, application folder, videos. Oops, didn't want to rename it. And I'm going to add. And you'll see it dropped it in just fine. 2 videos, season 2, add. Season 3, add. Season 4, add. 5. Gotta scroll for it. Season 5. Add. Season 6. Which sadly I think they should have kept on keeping on with iCarly, but that's just me. Boom. Now let's deal with the soundtracks here. Drop that out. Okay, soundtrack. Okay, there it is. iSoundtrack. Oops. Music. iSoundtrack. Add. iSoundtrack 2. Add. Miranda Cosgrove. We are actually not going to bother. Sparks Fly. And we're going to maybe. I don't know why I had to put that in that order. But we're going to boom. About now. Boom. High maintenance. And you notice where those feature key names come in handy to try to figure out what's what. And you notice that as I add these, the files are getting added. Okay, cool. So Jeanette McCurdy music, well, I've already got a folder here called Jeanette McCurdy, and because she only put out one album, even though I figured I'd do it that way anyway. We go Jeanette McCurdy, boom, add. And if it's all done correctly, yes it is, all of our files are where they need to be in this little mapping of the user's computer. Now, each of these things, like for example, season 4, this is where the application is installed to. This is a folder within the installation folder, Season 4. Then you can go out to Program Files where there's common files within the Program Files. Windows has some specialty folders, if I can get those to display right, such as Font and System32 and those and System. So there we go. We've got our files and folders right where they need to be. Next, we're going to be talking about shortcuts here on my little poorly cobbled together setup builder tutorial. We will be right back in the next video when we talk about shortcuts.